It's recording.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right, you are.
it's time. It's time. Wait, am I introducing?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, guys. I have been waiting since episode 1, since before the show started. I've been waiting for a while to show you this movie.
Yes. You've
Oh
been
my God.
talking it up a lot, and I must say it did not disappoint. We watched Saw from 2004,
Was it 2004?
I think.
I thought it was 2001. Man, it might be 2004. It seems like that kind of era of like movie. It is my favorite horror film of all time. I'm sorry, Evil Dead. I'm sorry, Evil Dead 2. I'm sorry, This Is the End. Kind of a horror film.
Kinda.
I've seen that a lot. This is my favorite horror film of all time. Not your typical horror film,
No.
but has a lot of horror elements,
Yeah, definitely.
sprinkled throughout.
Definitely sparked off a whole, not just its own franchise, but a lot of movies that came after it tried to be like this.
Yeah.
I could definitely see. Even though this is my first time seeing Saw, Seesaw. This is probably your third or fourth time. I don't know.
Yeah, probably at least like fourth, fifth.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I was definitely taken for a ride because it wasn't what I expected. It was a little bit like I expected, but a little bit unlike what I expected. I think what struck me as odd was not odd, but like what I didn't expect was all the flashbacks and stuff, which I liked a lot. I liked how it cut away from because I thought it was just going to be in the room the whole time, which I was like, oh, this is going to feel like a long movie, just like in the room. The whole time.
That's what I think when I first watched it. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I saw the setup and I was like, this is interesting. It's compelling, but I was also like, how are they gonna keep this going for like a whole hour plus or something? It just seems like it's way too much. It's too far of a stretch. And then when they introduced the stuff, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm sold.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love the buildup of it. To be honest, though, there was a certain point near the end where it kind of lost me for a little bit. But
Okay.
then it got me back at the very end where I was like, okay, I'm into it again.
Yeah.
But
What was the? Oh, I guess maybe. Yeah, I guess tell me once we get to it. I guess if you want to set up the story first.
okay, well, the story's pretty simple. I guess to start with, you have these two characters, Adam and Lawrence, and they're stuck in this room together, a bathroom, a really dilapidated, disgusting bathroom, which I was grossed out by.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty in there. If you haven't seen Saw, and you're seeing this review first, the bathroom is disgusting. It's
Yes.
it's like a Port Authority bathroom if they took all 5 levels of Port Authority's bathrooms and just sandwiched them into one.
Yeah,
It's got
pretty
the
bad.
poop on the walls. It's got the exposed pipes that have electricity running through them.
Yeah, they never. I'll give this spoiler in early. They never reveal where they are exactly.
Yeah.
So I was expecting like, because the whole time I was thinking, where the fuck is this? That is so disgusting. Like how did they let it get this bad and still have running electricity? Like
Right.
It's like nasty as fuck. But like, I don't know. Like I really, what was I gonna say? You just kick it.
All right. So we basically join the characters as they wake up in this like cell, this room as the lights turn on, or it starts off in darkness. Actually, it starts off with a
Right.
shot of the main character Adam in a bathtub with something floating around him, and it's kind of like illuminated to give a and you actually see in a later movie what is causing the illumination. It's a very
Does that actually in a later Saw movie? they
as
show
the
it?
movies go on, they revisit this room sometimes. They revisit
okay.
certain locations and certain characters that may or may not be dead and maybe die and maybe live and maybe I don't know. It's a lot.
I see.
It's a roller coaster, but they explain so many explicit tiny details, and some people don't like that. I thought that it was kind of cool how they piece things together. That it almost looking back, nothing like interrupts the story at all, like the way they explain it. So I think throughout the series, I think that they did a great job. I'm a big Saw fan.
Yeah, you've
clearly.
seen all of them.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've seen all of them several times. I don't think I've seen any of them less than 4 times.
Oh,
I'd
that's
say.
scary.
Like I've seen it. I've seen them all a bit. I'm a huge fan of the series. But yeah, no, we follow the characters as they basically are figuring out where they are and getting their bearings in this big room, and we get to know Adam is Lawrence is introduced as a doctor right from the get go, but Adam
Right.
is more of a enigma. Like his character is yet to be revealed in the very beginning.
Yeah, the movie knows when to withhold information, when to give it, which is something I've talked about before actually. But it's definitely one of the stronger points of the movie is the way that information is revealed to the audience. A lot through flashback and through different sorts of cutaways and stuff like that. I could see how this movie became a franchise because like I could see not just from the cliffhanger ending, but like from the way that the movie is directed. It actually for I think this was like his first film, if not his second.
It might be his first. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I have to check. But like his name is James Wan, and he is like not an amateur filmmaker, but like a newish filmmaker when he made Saw. And it was based on a short film which we were talking about that he made,
Right.
Called Saw. I will say for a movie called Saw, there's only one or two Saws.
Yeah, there's not many Saws. Actually, if you go throughout the series of Saw, I don't think there's more than maybe like 20 Saws. I want to say that now. I don't.
Okay.
I will do my own research. You don't have to.
Okay.
Maybe I'll subject you to watching the other films with me. I would love to.
I don't know if I could handle that. This was pretty stressful.
This one was too much. I gotta check it out and see how many Saws, because I feel like in the newest Saw that just came out, the Book of Spiral, the Book of Saw, there might not have been any Saws in that one. If I'm thinking about it, unless just a blade mounted on a table counts, that's not really a saw. It is my favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. I obviously the name of the movie is named after the Jigsaw, which is the name of the villain, the
Right.
Jigsaw killer, who uses a puppet, which is I don't know, maybe it's because of so many parodies and so many times I've seen this puppet before seeing the movie.
Right.
But I couldn't stop thinking, like, why did he make this puppet? Like, why? I thought there was going to be some bigger explanation towards it. Like, maybe he was deformed and he didn't want to show his face. But it was just, the puppet was bizarre to me. I like the design of it. It's a very iconic horror design. Like, definitely something that people are going to wear for Halloween and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I couldn't take the puppet very seriously. I thought it was creepy.
Okay.
There was creepy in some shots, but like in other shots, it was just like, oh, it's the Saw puppet.
Yeah, he has different iterations of the puppet as the films go on, and you see like backstory and kind of like his influence with the puppet. I don't know how much I want to give away in the future films, but it's something that he crafts himself in his own workshop while he's.
Okay, so they do explain it.
Yeah, they do explain it. I think it's in the next one, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that early on they kind of explain a lot of the things in the first one, right in the second.
Yeah, although just from watching this one, I don't think it needs like that much
explaining.
just because like I feel like I got a lot out of that one in terms of like I don't have that many questions like in terms of like why did this happen or what's going on here, like it
is pretty cut and dry. It's
yeah.
like it sets up everything that it delivers on. Like I mean, like they have the cop character, they have all the characters that you see throughout the film kind of have their wrap ups in a way, even though it has a cliffhanger type ending, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was really entertaining. For me, like the highlights were kind of the direction of it, and the acting in some parts was actually pretty good for a lower budget movie. Like I thought, like they're very good looking distress. I thought that the daughter, in particular, the daughter of what's his name, Lawrence, is was actually very convincing. I felt bad for her the whole time because she looked very distressed. Like I was like, did they really abuse her? Like why she looks so bad? She looks like really
she looks like she really believes it. It's pretty good.
They
like
fuck her up. I wonder if she comes back like as an older character. You can spoil that. I don't care.
Actually, I will say I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not certain.
We don't know.
So we leave it up to you, who will also not know.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's hard to not spoil everything when you talk about the film. Like I know, like for the past format of the show, we've kind of like gone through the story. I don't know if you would want to break down the beats of it, because that kind of it almost ruins the roller coaster in a way.
Yeah, I'd say for this movie, it's better off letting just giving an overview of what we think overall, just because the movie really is a procedural in the way it reveals information and the way it shows things to the audience and how it's all conveyed. That's kind of like the whole point of the movie, you know, like
right.
I could like when we reviewed Promare, the point of the movie was more visual, like the roller coaster ride was more in terms of the heights of the soundtrack and the visuals just like coming together in this explosion.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, it's more of like a slow. It's not that fast a movie, but it's not slow either. It's a medium pace, where it's like this doling out of like, okay, this is this reveal, and then this reveal, and then you know all this like little build-ups. But I will say, you mentioned it was the most iconic part of the movie, and I could see why.
Mm-hmm.
Is the jawbuster scene or whatever they call it?
Yeah, the reverse bear trap.
The reverse bear trap. That's what they
Amanda
called it.
subjected to.
Yes, which we'll show a clip of, but it's like, that was the most. I could see why it's the most iconic scene. I mean, it's the most gruesome thing, and they don't show anything. They show some guts.
Yeah, they show a little bit of like guts that almost look like origami to me. They're very like they have a lot of triangles in the geometry of them. I don't know why. It looks like polygonal to me.
I was trying not to look too closely. It was kind of gross.
Gotcha. Oh, the other films, if you don't like gross, by the way, if you don't like gross, this one's not so gross. Every sequential film afterwards, except for maybe the newest one, is it ramps up the disgustingness. So if that is something...
we talked about this a little bit before, but I've seen the first 2 Human Centipede movies.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them before there was a third one, which came out in like 2013 or something.
Okay.
So I watched them a long time ago.
Yeah, still a series I haven't checked out.
I watched them with a friend, and we watched them like both side by side, which was like kind of too much. But
right.
The first one's not that disgusting. I mean, it's a disgusting premise, but like they don't show that much, so it's not that bad. But then the second one, they're just like, fuck it, we're gonna show everything.
Yeah, just full on gross out. I think I've heard some stuff like back when you first saw it, and from what I remember, it does sound like it gets pretty nasty.
Yeah, they had to make it black and white because they couldn't show all the gore and stuff like in color.
Oh.
Like it was that bad.
Yeah, I think I know certain things that you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know Saw is people call it a torture porn series, kind of like, you know, just this kind of extra like misery of these characters having to go through these horrible traps and stuff.
Right.
And really, it wasn't too much. I mean, it was a little bit like that at the end of this movie, of the first Saw.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout, it was more of a character drama, a little bit, like in between the Adam and Lawrence.
You'd be surprised throughout this series of films, actually, like how much it almost seems less of a horror, except for certain points, and more of like an HBO series type like drama about law officers who are dealing with this massive case that is way out of their jurisdiction. Because that's what it kind of turns into, is that it follows a series, the next sequential like 9 or I think 7 films, the next 7 films basically follow the main police department and their continued investigation with the Jigsaw murders.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I wasn't expecting the police to be so involved in the first movie.
Right.
I mean, they were to an extent. Like they have the black guy who ends up getting a scar on his neck, and we see how that happens. A little spoiler, but he uses the Jigsaw has a hidden blade like an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, he goes whoosh, he goes hey-ya!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like out of character for Jigsaw, which is a little weird. I mean, he has a lot of tricks, obviously. One literally up his sleeve in this one.
Yes.
But it's like that is a little bit over the top for Jigsaw, I will say. If you got to know the character more, you'd be like, that and look back, it's like, that's kind of like,
Yeah,
I guess they were still feeling him out.
that happens a lot with especially long running series where I'm assuming when this guy made the first Saw, he wasn't expecting it to become a huge series. He probably only expected to make one movie, but that happens a lot where you look back and you're like, oh, that's not consistent with all the others that have come subsequently.
And when you do see that though in something, it's like it takes me back almost. Like the first time I watched Venture Brothers and I see the pre-planning and then
Oh yeah,
like I feel like they just, I mean, I don't want to turn this into a Venture Brothers review, even though Venture
Sure.
Brothers is an amazing series that you should check out. Check out that movie coming out. But
yeah,
like,
they have a Saw reference in it.
oh yeah, they do that.
What? What's going on? Where are you? Hey, what do you want? You want money? I have money. Tell me. You alive? Hey, you alive?
Shut up. Jeez, what are you screaming about?
Dude, I'm chained to a urinal with a stack of bodies.
That was actually, that's the reason. Okay, actually, you know what? It's perfect we bring up Venture Brothers because that's the reason I got into Saw was I was super into Venture Brothers because it's an amazing series. And yeah, around like season 6, they're introduced to this character, Red Death. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah, Red Death. And the introduction of his characters through a Saw parody. And whenever I see like parodies of something and it's something I really want to see, I'll like stop the thing and I'm like, oh man, I never wanted to see Titanic and I still haven't.
sure.
So I don't mind if there's like Simpsons parodies of it or Futurama parodies. It's like, I know the story, but if it's something like, if I never saw Predator or something and I watched a Predator like parody, I'd be like, oh wait, hang on, I want to see the actual movie first.
Yeah.
So I went and watched the Saw movie because I was so into Venture Brothers. I was like, I gotta see this movie first because I've heard it's
I
so
didn't know
good.
that was your origin story for your Saw love.
I can't believe I don't know, that kind of just came naturally, but I was thinking of Venture Brothers, which is one of my favorite series. I guess it was linked in my head somehow, but
Yeah.
yeah, funny how that came about. But yeah, that was the origin of me wanting to check out Saw, and then I just fell in love with the series.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did because I'm glad you introduced me to it because although I don't love it as much as you, it's not one of my favorite horror movies. I'd still rank Evil Dead 2 above it, and I'd still rank The Thing as my favorite.
Oh
Probably.
man,
Um,
yeah, the thing is in my top 5.
yeah, it's definitely up there, but I still really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good ride.
Right.
I had a good time. There was a lot of twists and turns, and I was like, well, there were several moments where I was like, what the fuck? You know,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like in terms of the reveals and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm glad we can say that this is a spoiler-free review too, because
Yeah.
I want to say, like, if you haven't seen this film and you don't mind a little bit of horror, but you like a movie that's really going to thrill you, don't look up anything else. If this is the first time you've ever seen any reviews of this, go check out Saw. I'm urging people to check out Saw. I mean, I don't know if it's at that point in the video, but I'm just saying, like,
I think we're at that point. In the
you've
video.
gotten pretty lucky to not be spoiled on Saw if you haven't. So I mean,
Yeah, really. After all this time, I mean, I'm lucky I didn't get spoiled on Saw either.
that's when I was super excited to show him, and I was like, we have to watch this.
Yeah, because it was a ride, and
Right.
I'm glad I experienced it with you. Aww. But that was fun.
What would you sorry, before we go, what would you rate it though from like cuz
That's hard. It's so fresh. Like I have to rethink it in my mind a lot.
all right, cuz I will say this is one of my only, and I mean I do this thing where I'm like, oh, nothing's a perfect movie except for, you know, unless it has Sasquatch. So that's why Tenacious D is the only 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The only true 10 out of 10. Jack Black, please don't get mad at me. I know that Tenacious D is the best movie. Also, Nacho Libre is second best. But this is like, for me, if I'm not doing the Sasquatch ruling, you know, the standard, which everybody should have, because Tenacious D should be everybody's favorite movie. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. If I exclude that rule.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this a 10 out of 10 just because my tastes are a little different. Like, I have a very select few movies that are 10 out of 10s to me that are perfect, and like I
Right.
wouldn't change them. But I would definitely rate this like at least an 8.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's definitely solid. Like I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I mean, that's about it. I was expecting to dislike it actually.
Oh, okay.
Not because you were hyping it up. Like some people get like hyped and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna like it now. But no, it was just like because I was like, I mean, it's Saw. I mean, I've heard a lot of things over the years, and
I know it gets like
not a lot of people. A lot of people know about it, but not a lot of people love it
Mm-hmm.
like you do. But I ended up really liking it, so I'm glad that it wasn't as bad as I was fearing.
okay. Well, I'm super glad to hear that. I mean,
I really like it's almost like an escape room type thing, you know, like one of those like old Newgrounds games where you escape the room.
and I am
You know
very
what I'm talking
nostalgic for old ass like Newground style like old games, like figuring stuff out like that. And maybe it hits a certain part of my brain where I like to imagine that I'm like in these saw traps, and I would like to imagine like, oh, I could get out of that, you know, like
Yeah.
the same way. I mean, like a lot, you could do that with a lot of movies, but with the Saw series, for some reason, I feel like I could really envision myself as like someone being like trapped in the thing, and I'm like, oh, I gotta you know, like it seems like such a fun thing, especially when you watch it the first time and you know that there's like a trick to it, so it's like you want to figure it out, so it becomes kind of like a small I Spy game almost. Like when I saw the recent one, I was like in the theater trying to guess how to get out of the traps and stuff.
Yeah. You should play 999. It was a DS game, but
Ooh.
they ported on Steam so semi recently with its sequel.
Okay.
But it's like like an escape room game that has a really good story. I really like that game. So
Oh, 999?
yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, if you like Saw, if you like escape room game, if you like Newgrounds,
Leave a like.
leave a like. And if I wait, do I have a fidget spinner around here? Hang on, stall them real quick. Hang on.
Still rolling.
It's still rolling.
You might not have a fidget spinner. I'll just put a gift on the fidget spinner.
Okay.
Or you can do that.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to edit it. Okay.
Guys,
We're back.
guys, if I can spin this fidget spinner on my finger for 3 seconds, then you have to give a like, you have to subscribe, and you have to check out Saw. Alright guys, let's spin this fidget spinner.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That's a very obscure reference that I hope one person will one day get. But if not, I hope you at least check out Saw. So thank you guys for checking out this review.
Recommended.
All right, take it easy, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Woo! That was good. I like that energy.
I know I have a fidget spinner here too.
Go
Oh, is
ahead.
it recording?
Yeah.
Wait.
You can't even do
Wait,
it.
I can do it.
You can't even do
no,
it.
No, hang on. You guys have to subscribe if I can do this for 3 seconds. Hang on. Peter can do it for 3 seconds.
I don't know
Watch.
if I can.
No.
This one's like extra unbalanced. It's like playing on hard mode.
Okay.
No. Wait.
Okay.
I can do it.
If-
Fuck.
Okay, wait, hang on. You guys have to subscribe if we can put this and you see this fidget spinner right here? You're being hypnotized. Subscribe. Press that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Tell us how good our fidget spinning skills are. Have a good night.
The fidget spinner. Okay.
Hey, shut up!